This fulfills a major part of the civil rights movement in the 1960s, that it seems that America has decided that we're judging our candidates on the content of their character rather than the color of their skin.
Looking back 40 years to the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr., how far has this nation come?
It's made remarkable strides. When you stop and think about it, the United States, at least a large portion of it, was an apartheid state up to the 1960s. And the fact that now we're on the verge of having an African-American president, well, I think it boggles the mind, but it's wonderful. It's really a major turning point in American history.
I was speaking earlier to someone who said it feels like 1980 all over again. Do you get that sense?
I do, and I was joking with some friends. It's the Phillies factor. The last time the Philadelphia Phillies won the World Series, we had a major political realignment with Ronald Reagan. And I think we're seeing that here tonight.
Also looking at Congress, of course, we're still following many congressional races, but there are some that are in the Democratic Party pushing for that filibuster-proof majority. Do you see something like that happening? And if it does, talk to us about how significant that is.
Well, if Barack Obama has any chance of becoming a successful president in dealing with the crises that are on his plate, or appears to be on his plate, he's going to need that filibuster-proof majority. He's going to need those 60 Senate seats. If he doesn't get them, his job as president is going to be very difficult, if not impossible.
When you look at this campaign, and you even just look back to 2004, 2000, so much has been made of the influence of the internet, how important the internet has been, whether it's blogs or the online websites for the candidates, or even text messaging. How important a role do you think it has played this year, and what will it do? What will the role be in 2012?
Well, I think Barack Obama is the first candidate of the 21st century to figure out this new technology. It's almost as if, when you think about the Republicans in the 70s and 1980s, they figured out the direct mail system, and they were able to fundraise and get their message out there. The Democrats, it took them about 20 years to figure out direct mail. But now Barack Obama, thanks to his organization, has really made an advantage for the Democrats in the near future.
You know, looking at the numbers that have gone up to vote, again, we are still waiting to see whether or not we have historic numbers going into Election Day. We had more than 24 million voters participating in the early voting or the advanced voting. I've also read about the potential that there will be a push to have early voting opportunities in all states. Do you think we could see that happening? And is that a good thing?
I think it would be a good thing. I would go a step further. I would make Election Day a national holiday. I mean, why not? Or maybe you could just bump up President's Day to the first week in November. It would make sense. It would make it a lot easier for people to get to the polls.
You know, you are a historian again, Boston University. What are the tidbits? What are the gems that you are going to look forward to writing about and teaching about, you know, a year from now, 10 years from now?
Well, what I'm going to be looking forward to is that this is the time when the politics caught up with the demographics of our nation. Our nation is changing in terms of its demographics. It's becoming more and more non-white, and it's becoming more and more diverse. And I think if you look back to key elections that preceded this, 1972, when George McGovern, although he was destroyed by Richard Nixon in the general election, he smashed the old boss system in the Democratic Party, and he made the Democratic Party more inclusive. And he really set this party up, the Democrats, to be the majority party in the 21st century. So he substituted short-term defeat for long-term gain. And I think that is what's so striking to me.
Thomas Whalen, a historian from Boston University, also author of the book A Higher Purpose: Profiles in Presidential Courage, joining us this evening to add his expertise and his insight on the history we're experiencing this evening. Thomas, thanks so much.
Thank you.